you all sing, it reminds me of the energy of our church family. And if you can take a minute just to look around, isn't it wonderful that you can be in a space where you can go through anything and you know that there are people that support you? Yes. You can be through any trial, any trauma, and you can come and get a hug and know that you're being held in the light no matter what it is you're going through. So say, I love this place.
I love this place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, in our series that we began the first of the month, we're talking about taking the energies in our world and reinvesting them in a way that serves us. And if you weren't here to experience some of the beautiful wisdom that was shared, let me remind you that right now we all know that you're holding as much joy as you possibly can hold.
Yes.
So you have to let something go to bring more in. Okay, your energy is fully invested in something. It's being occupied right now. So we're looking at opening up our energy field to take us where we want to go. So the first week we talked about there only being love, which I love the divine dip. There's only love, all else is an illusion. And we talked about the energy that we invest in the people we judge and in our resistance to them. And so we really talked about letting resistance go. Did anyone work on that this week? Pulling that energy back and not resisting the people that we don't care for anymore, the people that we judge. You know, they are our teachers. And so we are firing them from being our teachers. And a friend of ours that comes to church said, yeah, I fired someone. And I said, me too. And she goes, we're really filling up that unemployment line. We want to flow. We don't want to resist. We want to be in flow. And then last week, Patrick talked about saying an unconditional yes to life. Have you been doing that this week? I say an unconditional yes to life. And what is life but God? Life isn't challenges. The one thing that we learn as we age is you do not need lessons to grow. You can have opportunities. You can have experiences. You can embrace things to grow. You don't have to have a hard lesson. Yeah. I wondered if you knew that. I see some people going, I don't know about that, Cindy. That's true. Okay. God is in all things and God is all around you. This is what we worked on last week. Okay. Today we're working on Give for Renewal. One of the most difficult concepts when you come into metaphysical Christianity, because metaphysics is all about the energy. And this is a difficult concept that I'm going to share with you. It's called giving good for greater good. Yeah. What? I have to give up good to get greater good? I don't want to give up my good. I want to hold my good until it becomes all cracked and molded and broken. And then, when I get no more value out of it, I'll let it go. And how long do you think we stay at that level of consciousness when we're holding on to something? It's a long time until we can finally let it go. Now, there are those of us that have good, like I buy mine. Patrick buys a new pair of shoes, they go down to work shoes, then they go down to yard shoes, then they're out. But that's okay, they're in motion. So we have things that we do that with, but sometimes we hold on to things that we're getting some good from, but not all, and we just sit there. So giving up good for greater good, letting go of energy. Okay. When we talk about giving for renewal, what are we renewing? But ourselves. We are giving so that that me in me can shine brighter. So that something in me can breathe and come to the surface now and be expressed. I am now giving of something to renew my spirit and renew myself, renew my soul. Can you just feel your heart wanting to breathe? I want to be renewed. I want to be newer. We all think that we don't know about ourselves, we don't know who we are, but we really do. You may have forgotten who you are, but inside you know You are a child of God, you are dynamically beautiful, and you are perfect. This isn't a journey of finding out what's wrong with you. It's finding out what's right with you. And how can you be that? How can you be that joyful space on planet Earth? See? So we're trying to renew, dust off, and bring out to the surface the perfectness of us, our perfect nature. Releasing good for greater good. We're going from this level of consciousness to a higher level of consciousness. You guys understand that, right? All right. So let's look at relationships. I know most of you are, this may not apply to you, but you may know somebody. So let's think about, I'm in a relationship and it's good. It's not going to create the family that I want. It's not going to take me down to the road I want to go, but it's good. And I stay there. Anybody done that?
Once or twice.
Okay. I've had. The energy that you're investing in maintaining that portion of good is starting to cover up the new in you. The perfect of you, the dreams of you, is starting to be covered by that bit of good that you're receiving. Let's think about our jobs. I stay at my job, I love my job, it gives me a paycheck, it pays the bills, instead of thinking about my soul. How many of you stay at the job because it pays your bills? I have a hand. 2. Okay. So I'm getting good from my job, am I not? It's an opportunity for me to give. I'm being whatever I'm doing in my job, and I'm getting compensated for it. It's a balance, and it's good. How much greater good can come in? And how much of my dreams am I covering now with this energy that's beginning to stagnate? Y'all feel it? Okay. Releasing and giving up good for greater good, giving up good for renewal, does not mean dumping everybody. It doesn't mean firing yourself from your job and running to the woods screaming. It doesn't mean telling your relationships that you just cannot take it anymore, because it's really not about them, is it? They've been honest with who they are. You know it's not going down that road. You know they're not going to do that. You know where they stand. You can't get mad at them. It starts with awakening to an awareness. And the awareness is that my dreams are valid and who I am is valid. So, I wanted to share a brief little story. And I share this as a stereotypical story, because it happens all the time. I was doing a reading for a young lady about 10 years ago. And her big question to me was, should I stay trying to build my music career? Because she had been trying to build her music career. Or shall I go back to school and become a computer person? They match, don't they? I know there's sides to music. And I remember in the reading, I don't always, but sometimes I'll remember what I say when you are in resistance to me. If you're just listening, I remember very little that I say in readings, because it's your story, not mine. But when you hit me with the wall, I go, oh, what did I just say? And I typically remember it. And I remember what that I said to her at that time. I said, why are you not writing songs? Oh, I don't know how to write songs. I said, no, you do. You are very capable. Start writing with someone. Start collaborating if need be, but there are songs in you that need to come out. Oh no, that's not possible. When you were a little kid, didn't you kind of write songs? Didn't you kind of, what? But that's little kid stuff. Okay, all right, well, that's what I'm getting. You need to start writing songs. She went back to school. Now she writes songs. And when she said, and I know she has no memory of it at all. But I saw her, and you don't know who she is. It's someone you would not know. And it's like, how you doing? Oh yeah, I'm writing this song, I remember. That piece of her so wanted to come out. It so wanted to come out. And yet she couldn't take herself there. She couldn't let herself go there. She could be the pretty singer, but she couldn't let herself go. So I wanted to share with you a scripture that I think is very apropos for us today. This is in chapter 35. It's in the Aquarian Gospel. And Jesus is teaching. And people are saying, how do we find the joy of God? How do we find the joy of God? The love of God. And he says, Jesus spoke a parable. A certain man possessed a field, and the soil was hard and poor. Did you ever till hard soil? Yeah.
Over and over again.
By constant toil, he scarcely could provide enough of the food to keep his family from want. One day, a miner who could see beneath the soil and passing on his way saw this poor man and his unfruitful field. And he called the weary toiler, and he said, "My brother, know you not that just below the surface of your barren field rich treasures lie concealed? You plow and you sow and you reap in scanty ways, and day by day you tread upon a mine of gold and precious gems. This wealth lies not upon the surface of the ground, but if you will but dig away the rocky soil and delve down deep into the earth, you need no longer till the soil for naught." And the man believed. The miner surely knows. And he said, "I will find the treasures hidden in my field." And he dug down the rocky soil, and deep down in the earth, he found gold. And Jesus said, listen to this part, "The sons of men are toiling hard on desert plains and burning sands and rocky soils. They are doing what their fathers did, not dreaming they can do anything else." That last line is one of our greatest hindrances. We do what our world tells us we can do. And then we don't even believe we can do that. We follow the path of work and labor without considering the gold deep within ourselves, the joy, the treasures that we have. We follow the path, for most of us, it's the path of least resistance. What was easy for you? What was easy for you when you were little coming up? Is that where you went? It was easy for you. Some no, some yes. Easy for you mentally, easy for you to understand, easy for you to grasp. What was creative in you? What happened to that? Where did that go? That which was creative within you. That which is creative within you is not always easy. But when you start to really do it, what do you feel like? And you feel like a natural. Ah, this is fabulous. It's me. Even if no one understands what you're doing, it's still you. Also, I wanted to share what the sages said. This is right before Jesus started his work, and he's having a meeting with the sages of the world. And I thought this was interesting. Let's see if I can pull the right scriptures. "Man is not far enough advanced to live by faith. He cannot comprehend the things his eyes see not." I don't believe in ghosts unless you show me a picture with an orb in it. Then I'll say, "Oh." Or you take a picture of a ghost, then I'll go, "Oh." Do you hear it? That's not me talking. "And man cannot originate. He builds by patterns that he sees. So in this council we must carve out patterns for the coming age." Man, as Jesus was beginning his work, was not yet far advanced to be able to follow their guidance and think outside what they could see. But they also said in this meeting of the sages that in the coming age, past the age of Jesus, in the coming age, man will understand what it is to be his own priest, his own connection with spirit. Guess what age we're in now? That age, where we can become our own priest, our own connection. We don't need someone to intercede for us. We are God's child. And if we can do that, then we can take off this need to duplicate, this need always to duplicate. Even when you're reinventing yourself, are you not reinventing yourself based on what you've seen? Based on what you know is acceptable or true. So, Spirit reminded me of this. We tell our children they can be anything, but we are also telling our children to pick from what they see. Imagine if your child dyed their hair orange and green and dressed in a way that was completely nonsensical and chose to sing their work to the teacher. What would you do? That is from a homeschool mom right there. I mean, they would go to the principal's office immediately, and you would have to go and explain why they look the way they look, why they're singing their answers to the teacher. It's not acceptable. You can be anything as long as it fits in our reality. You can be anything. And this is what we've told ourselves. You can be anything. One of the greatest gifts one of my early teachers told me, it was a minister in the Unity Church, and I would go with her to her every Wednesday for counseling at my lunch hour. Just didn't matter what I was doing. I'd study with her, I'd, whatever. And I was real upset one day. I was really young. And I said, Barbara, I just feel God so strongly within me, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And she looked me straight in the eye, and she said, well, maybe what you're going to be doing isn't on the planet yet. And I went, okay, God, I'm ready. Whatever you need, I'm ready. You guide me, I will do what you ask me to do. I'm ready. What if all of us were so willing to do whatever we needed without it being on the planet already? Wouldn't that be so fun? It's very freeing, I'm telling you, it's a very freeing thought. We want to be renewed. We want to renew ourselves so we can go deep within and find the gold within us. And so when you think about your own life, you may have stagnant energy, which we talked about, where you're in a relationship or a job or a situation or a home where it's been okay, good enough. So let's talk about leaving that stagnant energy. Does anybody want to talk about that? Yes. Okay. All right. It does not mean, as I said, running to the hills. The farmer stayed on his own land, didn't he? Because our work is in our own consciousness. Because if you leave, you're going to reproduce what you have because you're taking you with you. That's the drawback. You go wherever you go. So we need to change us. All right. When we now are in our energy and we realize that I am getting some good and the rest of it's covering up the light within me and I'm starting to feel stagnant, the first thing I can do is change my expectations. Just change my expectations. I now feel that as I give, I'm going to expect that I will know my dream better. As I'm giving to you, I'm going to know my dream better. As I'm giving to my work freely, knowing I'm going to get paid, but I'm going to now know my dream better. Is that a simple expectation? As I give, I'm going to receive, and I'm going to receive this plus this. Shifting the expectations. All right. Intention becomes agreements, and agreements become agendas. Once you set the intention to have a new expectation, now you're in a different agreement with your job or relationship. Now you speak differently to it. Do you realize that? If it is my intention to now be in this energy, but now to call forth something fabulous for my soul. Am I going to walk to that, let's say it's a job. If I'm going to walk to that job every day and go, oh God, not this again. No, I'm going to walk to that job every day and go, this again. I'm giving of my light freely and I'm calling for something fabulous for my soul. And so the whole thing becomes a new agreement. So when your boss comes and says something that's diminishing of your light, oh, no, my light's not diminished. And you literally say, no, I'm shining, I'm still shining here. You can feel or say what you need to, but I'm still shining here. And you shine your little light. Now your agreement with that place shifts. Now the boss knows if he needs to diminish anyone to make himself or herself feel more powerful, they will go pick on someone else. Because your light's still going to shine, and that's no fun. Then the agreement will move into an agenda. You know what an agenda is? It's a list of things to accomplish so that a goal can be achieved. We have agendas for meetings, you understand that, but we have agendas for our lives as well. And when you have this new agreement, now you have an agenda. No, let me speak from mine, because this is what I know. When I was transitioning, nobody took my light, and they were all shocked. Yeah, no, I'm still happy. I had a big boss call me in one day, and he said to me, Cindy, how can you work with that guy, my immediate boss? He is so negative, and yet you're always so positive, and you always send him love, and yet he's so mean to you. It's like, yeah, no problem. I know where I am. I know what I'm doing. I know what's happening. And I'm good, because I'm using this job to further my spirit. And I'm following God. And I told him, and I'm following God, and this is where I am, Bud. He respected that. And my boss was released onto something else. But the agreement becomes an agenda. Then my agenda became, I will only do lunch when I'm guided, not because everybody asks me. I need to go meditate during lunch. I need to at least do my quiet mind dip during lunch. I need to be out of the office at 5 and have all my work done. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I set myself an agenda, not in resistance to my job, but to propel myself forward. Because my spirit needed food. And if I wasn't going to give myself an agenda to get to that food, I wasn't going to get to that food. So, but it started with this expectation shifting, my intention shifting, my agreement started to shift. And then I shifted. And I did have, I've shared with you many times, this was my big shift into my spirit was more important than anything else. And I had a young lady come to me right before I moved into a different corporate job. And she sat down and she said, okay, Cindy, what's happening to you? You've been here 3 years, you've changed completely. I need to know what you're doing. And I told her. And she thought that was fabulous, and she tried. And then I moved on. And I stayed in corporate, but corporate now served me. I stayed in a job, and we moved to a corporate job where I worked 3 days a week and then went to school to study 2 days a week and did healing work 2 days a week. I was very busy. Do you hear? Corporate served my light. Corporate served me. And it was wonderful. But it took the movement. And I don't put myself up here as an example of perfection at all. But it can be done. That's what I'm telling you. It can be done. All right. So now let's talk about, so with stagnant energy, you've got your formula, right? Everybody say, I got it?
Got it.
Okay. What about when you're in that beautiful calm energy, when it's like, okay, it's okay. Maybe when the good that you want is dependent on others and you really can't make it happen yourself, but you really do have that dream and you really want to do it, and there's calm waters around you and you're okay, but you kind of want to spark it a bit. This is when you can do things just for fun. Just to spark it a bit. Just for fun. So I have one little Cindy story, which I've told in class once, I believe, but I don't know if I've shared it with you guys. I have a desire to have an experience that I am not in charge of. And you know, I'm good with it because I'm in the calm waters. I'm in the calm waters. So I was at the grocery store about a year ago. I don't know how long ago. And there was this girl there, and she had 2 babies in her buggy, a baby strapped to her body. And she had her little calculator and her little list and some coupons. And I looked at her, and I knew I had $50 in my purse. And that's all I had. And I looked at her, and I went, Spirit, should I give her this money, that sweet young lady over there? And it was silence. And every other time I donate or do something, so I was Spirit guided. Spirit says, yes, that you're exactly right. They need that good. Silence. And I went, got my little 50 out, and went over to her, and I said, hey, you're on a budget, aren't you? She goes, yeah. I said, well, listen, can I give you this? Because I have no grandchildren. And let me just invest for a minute in your babies. And she broke into tears, of course, and I did not know. She said that, you have no idea what that means to me. And she was just crying, she was sobbing. You have no idea what this means, you have no idea. I said, okay, it's okay, it's okay. You don't have to tell me anything. Just give me a hug. And her babies are looking at me with these wide eyes going, what have you just done to my mother? And as I walked out of the store, I went, I got to practice being a grandma. They're not my kids, obviously, and I know that. But I got to touch it for a second. Well, isn't that what grandmas do? Don't they give kids money? I don't know yet. But you know me, that's always been one of my dreams, and if I ever experience it, great. If I don't, I'm not going to let it be stagnant. That's why, you know, I'm a sucker for any baby that walks into place. You're going to love me, your kids, I'm good with that. But I know they're yours. And I know they have their own family. But you see, just one little minute of touching it. And it hasn't happened since. You know, I haven't had that opportunity since. It was just a moment in time. A moment in time. But I did it from my heart. From the little golden spark deep within me. That little part of me. I did it from that. Not because God divinely said, yes, do that. Do you see? When we love self, do you realize you're taught not to? You're taught cover it up. Don't be anything other than what you can see. But when we love self, we can bring that beautiful energy and invest it in just the shine of who we are. Just the shine. And as you go about this week, I know you're going to find yourself in the calm waters. You're going to say, oh yeah, this is a calm space. Do I need to stir it up a minute? Is there anything I want to do? You're going to find yourself in the stagnant waters. Then you have your agenda for that. You have your steps for that. And you'll know what to do there. But we need to not forget, the reason we're doing this is to give for renewal. We are giving our energy to renew ourselves. We're giving of our life force to renew ourselves. We're changing things to renew ourselves. And some of you may go around your house and go, oh, I've been meaning to get rid of that lamp, that bothers me, or I need to get rid of this. And it's working just fine. And what would your mother say to you?
Don't you dare.
It's working just fine. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Yeah, give good for greater good. I want a bigger light, Mom. I'm going to let that go. I want a better light. I'm going to let that go. Give good for greater good. All right, how are you feeling? Can you feel that beautiful heart inside you? All right, let's go with it. Father, Mother God, we open our hearts. We are your children. We are the beautiful, perfect children seeking to learn joy on this planet. Teach us. And God, I ask that a beautiful calm come over each person here. And just feel it engulfing you. Let it be a color that's your color. And feel yourself safe. You're not aware of the person to the right or left or front or behind. Be in this beautiful light. There is only love. There is only love. All else is an illusion. There is only love. All else is an illusion. Feel your heart. I am bigger than what I have seen. I am more perfect than what I have known. I am radiant, dynamic. I am bigger than I know. I want you to feel the beautiful love of God pouring through you. And let your mind now go to a space where you have been feeling stagnant. Where the energy is not moving. It's okay, it's good, it's good, it's okay, it's not fun. And just feel the energy around you. And we're going to just do step one. We're going to set an expectation and an intention. In this space, I honor the good that I am receiving. And I now expect that I will find more joy here. I expect that I will find more joy. It is my intention to find more joy. And as you say those words in your heart, feel the ripple out into the field. Feel the ripple into the energy field. Feel things moving. And stand in the center of it in your heart. Say, there is only love. And I am love. And feel the energy shift. Take a breath. I want you to feel that beautiful presence of Jesus the Christ stepping forward. Have him take your hand and just hear his words or his energy. I will show you. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Feel the peace. And know that you are not alone. God, I ask that you bless each one here in the radiant colors and lights. And let there be reinvestment of all of this energy. And we thank you. Take a breath. I want you to bring your energy back, your focus back to the beautiful column of light. And just feel yourself sitting in your chair now. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. What would it look like if one Sunday we all came in bedecked and bedazzled as we choose? Wouldn't that be interesting? One day we shall have enough courage to do that. Yes?
Yes.
And we will come exactly as we choose. But for now, begin with just these gentle shifts of expectation and goodness. Say, yea, God.
Yea, God.